The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning all. Thank you for your time this morning and welcome to the webinar jointly hosted by Hand Business Solutions and Ipswich File Transfer titled From Chaos to Control, Creating a Secure Mature File Transfer Process or System or Solution. The agenda of the meeting today is you'll probably be presentations for about 35 to 45 minutes. Initially, my name is Kevin Camadou. I'm the Business Development Manager at Hand Business Solutions, and I'll be giving you a quick overview of what Hand Business Solutions offer and where they sit in the overall process of things. And then I'll be handing over to Richard Chapman, who's the Regional Manager for Ipswich File Transfer. For the beginning of the call, you will be on listen only. And then at the end of both presentations, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. And if I could ask that when you do ask a question, you mention your name and the company that you're calling from. So if I give you a quick start into who Hand Business Solutions are, hopefully you can all see the slide perfectly clear. So Hand are a small privately owned company that concentrate on data-centric solutions, established 8 years ago in 2006. What that essentially means is that whenever a piece of data is created and then through the whole lifespan of that journey of that data, what we try and do at Hand is create a security wrapper that should hopefully protect you despite any threats or any punches that you get through your firewall or antivirus system. And what we do is we look at it in 4 sections, as you can see on the left-hand part of the slide. They're titled Data Identify, Data Exchange, Data Secure and Data View. So in each of those sections we look at what is at risk to that piece of data and then identify a solution that can help you correct that. So for the focus today in secure file transfer, we'll be looking at the data exchange silo, which does talk about managed file transfer, things like secure email. But as you can see at Hand, we do also offer other solutions such as data classification, key management, encryption, and also we are able to provide the full auditing and management of any data solution that you decide to use. Over the period of time, we have established over 500 customers, all international, in many of the sectors in the corporate space. We've also got offices in UK, Singapore and Malaysia, and soon to be opening one up in Germany as well. With regards to our relationship with Ipswich, we are their UK reseller. Ipswich themselves were established in 1991 and considered one of the pioneers in the secure managed file transfer process. So just to give you an idea of the clients that we currently deal with, hopefully you'll be able to recognise some of those names. Like I said, they do span across a lot of verticals, but there you've got the financial sector. There's just again a snapshot of some of the people that we're in conversations and got customers with at the moment. And the public sector, that seems to be quite a big sector that we're targeting at the moment, given recent changes in classification and regulations. Again, give you an idea of where our global reach is, especially given that a lot of our solution providers aren't based in the UK, and just the way that business is going these days, and that a lot of companies are now dealing internationally. And I guess having that global expertise gives us the advantage that we know some of the regulations and some of the systems and what's going on in those countries that you can see highlighted there. So at Hand, we talk, our strapline is about securing the journey of your data. And as I mentioned before, what that means is that really does mean putting a security wrapper about data from the point of its creation right up until the point until it's no longer needed. So looking at creation, solutions that you can look into are things like data classification, such as protective and visual marking. We then look at when the data is at rest and what threats it's vulnerable to. So we look at other solutions such as encryption, access management and permissions. We then look at data integration, concentrating on data management and translation mapping. And then we look at where that data moved to and who's got access to it, and whether it's the right people that should be viewing the right information. And to assist with that, we use a managed file transfer process, which Richard will be talking about in much more detail. So just to give you a quick overview, a very brief snapshot, that is who Hand Are and what we do and where we fit into the overall process. But as you can see, we do provide consultancy services, and many a time we're talking to our customers and helping them write their policy and advising them of ways that they could be operating a lot more effectively by utilising one or more of the solutions. We also help with things like installation and also user training. We can provide that on site, and we also have ongoing support as well. So that's Hand in a nutshell. I shall now pass you over to Richard, that will be giving you the full file transfer process. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Kevin. I'll just wait to be able to just share my screen with you. Just bear with me 1 second. So hopefully everybody can see my screen now with the title page. So again, thank you very much, Kevin, and thank you all for joining us today for this webinar titled "From Chaos to Control: Creating a Secure, Mature File Transfer Process." My name is Richard Chapman, and I'm the Sales Director here in the UK for Ipswich Managed File Transfer Solutions. Let's have a quick look at what we mean by chaos and control. We have a couple of definitions here. Chaos, a state of utter confusion or disorder, a total lack of organisation. And then the definition of control, the power to make decisions about something and decide what should happen. There are also definitions of control relating to influencing people's behaviour and influencing the course of events. Looking at this, chaos is obviously a state where trying to impose any form of control is not possible. Most organisations need to ensure that in all aspects of the business there is a level of control to ensure governance and minimise risk. We will be looking at how this relates to the movement of files within an organisation. I'll cover the following 3 topics. Firstly, putting the current situation into context by highlighting the challenges faced by companies when transferring secure information. Then highlighting the risk of staying with the status quo and describing why the existing file sharing methods that up to now may have been seen as good enough for the job really is not good enough. And then providing an overview of best practices for selecting secure managed file transfer solutions. Isn't it strange that in this day and age that when a user has a file they need to send to a colleague or business partner, there often isn't any secure, easy to use corporate solution. They frequently do things their own way, be it just sending as an attachment in an email, which could be viewed by anyone, and with larger files causing potential issues with performance or hitting maximum file size limits. Or the user may have web-based storage they use at home for their photos, home videos, etc., and may try and use that for business data. IT tend to have the same problem when trying to move files automatically and tend to have lots of script-based file transfers based on various tools linking business processes, which over time become difficult to maintain. This all creates a significant overhead and adds to the pressures of organisations who are already being asked to do more with less. The issues are only going to continue to get more challenging. According to recent research from Aberdeen Group, the number of end users needing to transfer files is growing quickly, by between 6 to 9% per year. This includes employees, temporary employees, contractors, business partners and customers. The volume of file transfers is growing even faster. It's between 8 to 11% year over year, and the size of those files being transferred is also growing by 6 to 7% year over year. There is significant growth of both the amount of data and the number of users. IT will be expected to be managing all of this growth, but unfortunately the growth of the number of IT staff is not keeping pace. It's only between 1 and 2% per year. In addition, companies are also driving to reduce risk, improve efficiency and reduce cost. Unfortunately, the number of security and compliance incidents related to file transfers is increasing, about 4% year on year. Without visibility and control, it's impossible to have a clear view of the security posture, state of compliance, or risk landscape. Efficiency could be improved by reducing the frequency of errors of file transfers. Unfortunately, that's also growing by 4 to 5% per year. There are costs associated with managing the complexity of existing file transfer methods. The average time to correct errors, investigate failed transfers or lost files is around 4 to 5 hours per incident. As a comparison, this drops from 5 hours to around 1 hour for organisations that have adopted managed file transfer solutions. Delivery methods currently in place include physical, USB drives, CDs, courier services, etc., along with a mix of digital do-it-yourself approaches. For example, email attachments, non-commercial FTP servers, customer programs and scripts, as well as consumer-orientated file sync and share solutions. Most companies have multiple methods of moving files and often different methods for the 4 modes of file transfer. The modes are person-to-person, which is an ad hoc or impromptu file transfer from an individual to one or more specific people. Process-to-person, when an automated process or application creates a file or report and transfers it automatically to specific individuals, based either on a schedule or an event. Person-to-process is when an employee, customer or partner securely transfers a file that's then automatically uploaded into storage or an internal business system. And finally, process-to-process, where file transfers are programmed to be initiated by one process and received by another. This can include external partners, vendors or customers. Users and the business expect IT to set up, configure and run all of these different and unmanaged systems and support them as they become critical to the business. The net effect of all this complexity is that there is limited visibility and control. It's time-consuming to research the status of a file transfer, and there's no ability to prove files got delivered. In summary, I'm sure you or your teams recognise the following challenges. A significant rise in the amount of confidential data that needs to be moved around securely. Users finding their own ways of sharing the information they feel they need to in order to get their job done, along with those users utilising mobile devices. While the business demands greater compliance to minimise risk with increased security threats, cloud strategies varying within the business and with partners. Additionally, business partner organisations will often dictate file transfer protocols to interface to their systems. No increase in resources, but demands for tighter SLAs for data transfer solutions that are hard to manage and complex. Complex systems become impossible to manage efficiently and do not provide the required level of control to ensure security. Because of hard-to-use or complicated file transfer processes, employees circumvent IT. They do their own thing, and this subjects the organisation to unnecessary security risks. We frequently see stories in the press related to data lost by the use of manual, unmanaged file transfer. Imagine the impact on your organisation of headlines such as these. The complexity of these systems and the difficulty in monitoring and managing them tends to lead to a state of confusion or disorder and a lack of organisation. This fits our earlier definition of chaos. A quick reminder, it's not really about moving files. What organisations really need is the convenient, efficient, reliable and secure means to enable collaboration between individuals and integrate business processes within and between organisations. Moving files is just the means to these greater ends, and it's important to keep that in mind. Let's look at best practices when looking at a secure file transfer solution. The first is to identify one solution to balance the needs of users and how they work, along with systems and IT security requirements to be able to demonstrate corporate governance and compliance to local regulations. It is a balance between user needs and IT requirements. Users need a single system that's easy to use and convenient, ideally having the end-user interfaces to the solution based on the usual working practices such as web and email. The back end of the system should be transparent, whether they're accessing an on-premise or cloud-based solution. IT requires visibility and control of all activities and file movements, as well as security controls, providing the ability to demonstrate compliance. Additionally, IT need a solution with easy and flexible implementation and ongoing operation, one with security and compliance at its heart and a modular portfolio that grows with requirements. Select a unified, managed file transfer system. Implement a single, secure, automated and scalable solution which provides security, automated workflows, IT visibility and corporate compliance, a modular system that can grow and scale based on user requirements. An easy-to-use and easy-to-adopt solution that fits with the existing working practices rather than imposing a rigid new structure. Implement a solution which is simple to deploy. Ensuring the solution is standards-based will provide the widest connection capabilities. Proprietary protocols will only have limited use and lifespan. Your requirements for file transfer will evolve and grow. By selecting a modular solution that can grow with the business, does not require a significant amount of customization, the solution will develop to provide greater value. Cloud strategies are in place for most organizations. Make sure the solution can be provisioned on-premise or in the cloud for maximum flexibility. Provide a solution that enables users to keep their normal behavior, doing what they used to do on a day-to-day basis, using the same interfaces, and expand that experience into mobile work and how they're used to working on those platforms. Enabling the users removes the need for them to figure out their own way of doing things, and this will drive wider adoption. Implement a solution that is used and trusted by organizations worldwide, from a global provider who understands the different needs of multinational customers. Which brings us to Ipswich. Ipswich has been in business for over 20 years with nearly 15,000 customers worldwide. It is in the champion quadrant in the Infotech 2013 Managed File Transfer Vendor Landscape Report and a leader in Gartner's most recent Managed File Transfer Magic Quadrant report, which gives us the experience and insight into the challenges faced by companies. Our products address the challenges across industries and solution areas including managed file transfer, application to application and business to business integration. And we have industry-leading support with over 90% customer retention rate. The Ipswich Managed File Transfer solution is MoveIt. MoveIt is a modular comprised of 4 components that work together as a single solution. MoveIt File Transfer Server is at the core and has been described as a secure file transfer server on steroids. It's the workhorse of most implementations. It provides user collaboration by shared folders, also enabling secure web-based transfers and ad hoc transfers between people. It can be configured in high availability modes to ensure business critical information can be transferred as needed. MoveIt Central makes file-based automation easy and reliable. Central is used to quickly create or manage automated tasks or set up file transfer alerts and provides reporting, visibility and control of file transfers. Scripting is not required. MoveIt Ad Hoc Transfer is the component that enables users to transfer sensitive files from Outlook and from web browsers. As well as providing a managed and secure method for users to send files, it also removes file size limits and reduces the load for email servers. Ad hoc transfer will ensure easy adoption by the users and allow them to do person-to-person file transfers. MoveIt Mobile delivers productivity for your mobile workforce. Mobile enables secure file transfer from Apple and Android mobile phones and tablets, ensuring that even when away from the office, users can continue to participate in business processes. MoveIt provides simplicity, control, visibility, security and compliance in a comprehensive solution, recognized as the best value champion by Infotech. MoveIt can be deployed on-premise or in the cloud. The Ipswich MoveIt Cloud is also PCI certified. MoveIt includes intuitive user interfaces, enterprise-level security, and is provided with licensing for unlimited users. MoveIt will enable you to move from the chaos of multiple methods for all the differing file transfer requirements for each of the file transfer modes through to a state of control. This will bring the advantages of improved productivity, reduced risk of security incidents, flexibility to collaborate with third parties, improved reliability, and that will lead to reduced costs. Thank you for your time today. Please feel free to contact myself or our partners at hand with any queries following this webinar. We also have a stand at Infosecurity at the end of this month. We'll be happy to welcome you to the stand, which is H90. We have a meeting room on the stand and we'll be pleased to arrange a meeting where you can have a chance to speak with Ipswich executives and product management. But for now, I'll hand back to Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Kevin, you may be on mute. We're not able to hear you.
Hello, is that okay?
Well, that's better.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for that
Thank you, Kevin. Yep, we can
demonstration. Good. Yeah, I know. Apologies. I believe there was some sound problems at the beginning when I first opened up. Are there any questions for Richard or either myself? There's nothing so far. I'll give you a half minute or so. Feel free to write in the chat box as well if you do have anything. Richard, can I ask you a question? What seems to be the most common challenge that you're coming up that companies are saying to you when trying to implement this?
I think it varies, but I think a lot of the challenges that perhaps people perceive are how difficult it's going to be to make something available for the wider community, and whether that is going to have to force a change of behaviour for their users and their partners. And certainly by implementing a MoveIt solution, we've seen customers implement that very, very rapidly. Talking days and weeks rather than weeks and months, and because of the intuitive interfaces, it means that it's very, very straightforward for the general user base to be able to use the system, and it tends to be adopted very, very quickly. But also from the automation side, because all of the automation is created from very intuitive kind of drop-down options, is very quick and very easy to enable automation without having to generate your own scripts, and it's very easy to be able to maintain those. So I think there's a perceived challenge that this is going to be far more difficult, far more complicated than it ends up being using the MoveIt solution.
Sure. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay, well, there doesn't seem to be any questions, so I think we'll call it a day there. But just to remind you that we will be in contact with you over the next week or so, just to see if there is any further information that you'd like with regards to the demonstration that you've all seen, and just to re-emphasise that we will be at the InfoSec stand later on this month. So feel free to book a time slot there if you want more information, or just pop in and say hello. But thanks again for your time, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon. Take care.